Welcome to the live. And we'll let some people hop in here before we get started. Maybe I should close my window. It is freezing. What up? What up? Can you guys hear me? Draft. Elite draft. Guess I'll have another Red Bull since I have an unlimited amount now. Guys, I just got 120 free Red Bull delivered to my door. You know, I've been wanting the green ones. We've got the variety. I feel like I'm a Power Ranger. The green, the regular, the pink, the yellow. And now I just need a Red Bull sponsor. Okay. What's going on, guys? Ew, Red Bull? Come on. All right, let's get into this. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear the music in the background a little bit? The quiet tunes. I can't even hear the music. I want to listen to what my favorite song here. Promise. This is a really good song. I feel like my audio settings are all messed up. Give me a second. And then we'll get started. Can you guys see everything? I gotta see on both ends. Am I streaming on YouTube? Do I just have no viewers? Okay, I have 4 watching. Okay. Okay. Let me fix something with my settings, my sound settings. Let's go here. That looks good. Audio enhancements. Spatial sounds. Oh no, this is going to be in my control panel. Not in my mixer. Oh, device. Device manager. That's where I want it to go. All right, let me fix this real quick. Audio. Properties. Maybe I'm stupid. Crap, I forget how to do this. No. Okay, you know what? I'll fix it later. Check, check, check. I'll fix it later. What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? We got Westchester County. I forget where Westchester County is, even though I lived over there for 3 years. Let me just put my window down, guys, because it's freezing outside and my window's open right in front of me, which is very cold. Give me 1 second. Put this bad boy down so I don't freeze to death while I'm speaking with you guys. Does anyone know how I can pull up my sound device? I gotta pull up my audio device settings. Something's going on with my headphones. They're a little quieter than they should be. Not audio device. I don't think it's sound mixer. I thought it was control manager. Or what the heck? It's bothering me. It's bothering me. It's so much quieter than it should be. It's driving me crazy. I don't really think Long Island's gonna get snow. I think it's gonna. You could. I mean, a dusting maybe is on the table, but I don't think so. Unfortunately, not with this system. But I really want it to go live right now because we're seeing some crazy things out east. I think we could have so much snow out east for December, and I'm not just saying that. I will explain why, and I will show you the receipts. Because everyone wants to say that for clicks. I'll show you the receipts. It's good for the east. Is it device? Device? That was device manager. Sorry, guys. My audio is just doing something weird, and I just wanted to fix it before I got started with you guys. It's really annoying the crap out of me right now. Speaker. Try this one. Property. Driver details. Crap. Microphone. Why can't I figure this out? Audio and outputs. Oh, I think I know what it is. Is it no, it's not display adapters. Oh, this might be it right here. Let's try this one. Properties. I guess we've got no tech savvy people in here. All right, fine, guys. I'll just talk to you then. Here's the latest from the Euro. Interestingly enough, the Rufus is looking a little bit like this. We've got the latest Rufus out, 12Z, which is going to give us much better details because it's a 3-kilometer model, and it's very similar to the Euro. But I think it does a better job because it's not being as crazy with snow down here. But still, we could have a band of snow, although the Rufus completely just says no snow into Chicago. I think Chicago's going to get a little snow, but look at the banding out here through central Indiana, down through southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, through the Appalachians. So, but this model isn't running all the way out. This doesn't go all the way out. So I still think right now this is a pretty good look on what we could see. And then if we moved up towards central, actually we'll do Great Lakes. We'll do upper Midwest. And then if we moved out east, down to the southeast. All right, so what should I talk about first? Should we look at we'll look at the latest reflectivity, and then I got to show you guys what's going on. There are signals, and I just posted it on X and on all my social media platforms. There are signals for a massive polar vortex collapse in December with a negative NAO, negative WPO, neutral WPO, and a positive PNA. And I know you all know what that means. That cold air is going to drop east. Now, I've said it from the beginning. I think it's very cold out east for the beginning of winter and very cold out west for the second half of winter. But we'll see about that. We have had winters that favor the east the whole time. I don't think it's going to favor the whole time. By the way, JJ McCarthy signed Vikings helmet. And I finally turned on my salt lamp. Some new additions to the background. I got on a call, guys. Don't worry, we're getting into this. I got on a call with someone the other day on a Zoom, and they were like, that's a really cool background. They're like, is that like in your settings? And I was like, what? And they're like, is that like something you uploaded? And I was like, no, that's my background. I can go and touch it. Okay. But I was like, thank you. That was the best compliment I ever got. They thought it was a fake uploaded background. Anyways, let's look at our latest reflectivity, and I'm going to talk about a massive polar vortex collapse. We're going to do climatology outlook. I don't care about you guys knowing just the next 48 hours. We want to know what's going to happen in the next 1,000 hours. Well, we're going to try. All right, let's push up here. Let's push up. Let's do United States. We'll go into... We'll go to the Great Lakes. There we go. And let's look at our reflectivity. We'll look at precipitation type. Okay. Okay. We'll start in the upper Midwest because that's where it's going to move through first. The Dakotas are going to get some snow, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, you know what? Fine. I don't want people in the Dakotas to be mad at me. So here you go. Dakotas north and south. Here's as we get into later tonight. Here comes our snow. And tomorrow morning, there's our low pressure system. There's our vorticity. There's our spin. And shockingly, I mean, look at this. Really turning a lot of this into snow, at least on the NAM 3K. I'm telling you, the Rufus is too. Could have some surprising snow out through here. This is like South Fork or something, right, guys? Help me there. I'm not great with the Dakotas. No, Sioux Falls. South Fork. Isn't there a Fork city out here, guys? Grand Forks and Sioux Falls. Whatever. That's dyslexia speaking, okay? Build a bridge and get over it. All right, then we're pushing down here into, you can look at all the snow down in southern Minnesota. Let's go and push into the upper Midwest and see how this progresses as we move through Saturday. All right, here we go. Check YouTube comments. I've been trying to. Listen, I do weather stuff all morning. As soon as I get done with weather stuff, I have to get into my 9-to-5 job. I just got off my 9-to-5 job and I'm back doing this. So it's hard to find time to read comments. If I don't answer your comment, it's not because I don't want to. It's because I work 80 hours a week and have 2 kids. But I really try to look at comments and respond. I really do. You know? Or were you talking about here? Because I'm going over this stuff and then I'm going to answer your guys' questions, okay? Going over this, then I'll answer your questions. Anyways, here's the upper Midwest. I'll make this quick so I can answer your questions. Getting into Saturday, all this is suddenly snow. The cold air is suddenly down here. Cold air is suddenly down here. That's interesting, isn't it? So maybe Des Moines, get some snow. The NAM does think. The NAM is putting a pretty sharp line, potentially of snow. Look at Minneapolis is right here. Minneapolis is right there. Look how close we are. I think we could end up getting a couple inches just to the south of Minneapolis. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if that wants to move a little bit north. Moving forward, here's as we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning. There's our snow out here, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. Again, there's a little bit of a warm face here coming off the Lake Michigan, and it's gonna try to keep that as cold rain instead of snow. But as we move through Sunday, our cold air is collapsing. Our upper level low is collapsing, and it's turning the back end of this into snow. So maybe Chicago. You right there, the city right there. And then Detroit, maybe some of this turns to snow on the back end as this pushes through. Look at this. God, oh my God. I'm having terrible memory with city names today. Jeez. And hold up here, South Bend. Oh my gosh. What's going on? All right, that storm's gonna move out, and then our southerly flows, our northeasterly flow is gonna kick in. It's gonna try to throw some snow into Chicago, and then into northwestern Indiana, and then it's gonna try to throw some snow across central Indiana. You can see here. Look at this flow. Look at this lake band flow. Look at that lake band flow. And if we push out towards the northeast, let's get a little bit farther out east. Are we going to push out towards the Ohio Valley? You can see all of this snow as we get into, we're looking at Sunday evening into Monday morning. Suddenly we're getting a northwesterly flow.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson, Tennessee and Williamson, Tennessee. That's current. So here we go, northwesterly flow, and then we're getting some snow out there in western PA, western upstate New York, and then we're getting some down into Appalachia. Maybe some flakes flying out there, maybe a little bit of accumulation. Look at this, out into Kentucky. Very interesting. Some flakes out here. Okay, it's going to be cold enough for snow. It just is the moisture available there. Ohio looks good. Ohio looks like you want a little bit of a coating to an inch across Ohio. And notice how we suddenly have a force field. You see how the snow is flying down to the southeast, and there's a force field it doesn't want to pass. These mountains absorb so much snow that would otherwise fall out in these areas. But some of it's going to try to make it over the mountain. And some of it's going to try to put a dusting into Charlotte up through central Virginia. It's going to try. I don't know if it's going to, but it's going to try, and it's possible. All right. So anyways, that's what's going on. Really quickly, snow totals again, and then I want to go over our climatology and take your questions. What's going on, Emmanuel? What is popping? So, when do I think Bucks County gets its first snow? It's going to be earlier than I think it'll be early December, much earlier than it typically does, or than it has been. Yeah. Anyways, here's the update at Euro, guys. So still thinking we could get a dusting to a ½ inch. If you don't get snow in this area, don't be surprised. Not everyone's going to see it. There's going to be some spotty winter, some spotty moisture flowing through this area. That's going to be falling at a pretty decent snow ratio. So just a really quick snow could get a little bit of accumulation. Obviously, the main areas we're looking at that we're focused on are really, you know, that's our greatest opportunity in there. Outside here, it's going to be tough. It depends where this lake effect band sets up through here. It's going to be tough. Too much drawing. All right, anyways, looking pretty good, though. There's a lot of snow coverage here for a lot of people. A lot of opportunity here for a lot of people. You can see some of the snow trying to get over the mountains. And I think we could see this extend down here. I think we could get to at least a coating in some places. Before I get to questions, and I guess I'll make this really quickly, but I think people are going to ask a lot more about this. What the heck? Get back up there. What the heck? Okay. Guys, December looks extremely cold. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at our European ensemble. Look at our AO getting into this. Everyone pay attention. 17th to the 19th. 16th to the 19th of November. 10 days out. Something's going to happen. This is an extremely negative AO. This is our polar vortex breaking down once again with an extremely negative NAO. This is shouting East Coast winter storm. 10 days from now. That's all I'm going to say. We'll get a little closer and talk about it. And it's going to be, and this could be even colder. We really could get Ohio Valley snow again, maybe even mid-Atlantic, super early season snow involved. It's possible. Take a look at that. Okay. European weeklies. Arctic oscillation. This thing does not want to go positive until maybe the second week of December, but it's still not going positive. The mean is still not going positive there. It's neutral. The actual control maybe flirts with positive here, but really is completely negative all the way up into Christmas. You guys want a white Christmas? Oh my gosh, look at your Arctic oscillation. You guys want a white Christmas out east and low elevation and along the coast? Look at your Arctic oscillation as we get out towards Christmas on the weeklies. Can't fully trust this. We're going to see it change, but it's looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty nice for you. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Let's look at our stratosphere. The stratosphere is coming into play now. It really is coming into play because we're getting closer to winter. You see that? You see that? Am I zoomed in? No. You guys know what that is? Who's getting a white Christmas? Potentially a decent amount of people if this pattern continues. Yeah. Yeah, but it's Siberia. Okay, then you don't know how to read this map. I don't want to be mean, but that doesn't matter. First of all, we're looking at the stratosphere, so this doesn't mean it's cold down there at the surface, but it means that there's cold. That there's. I'll get into this. Don't worry about. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna read comments. Let me explain to you what's happening. I want you to see what's happening here as we push out on the Euro, and we get towards 12th, mid-November, large Alaskan ridge, kind of, or this is the stratosphere. Stratospheric warming occurring over here towards Alaska, Eastern Asia, and then toward kind of moving up into the Arctic. Okay, move forward in time now as we get out towards the last couple weeks of November. Intense. This is very intense Arctic warming, which again, would absolutely destroy our stratospheric polar vortex and allow the coldest air that we've seen in a very long time down into the south. So anyways, remember, stratospheric warming events are a lagging effect. So say this does start to set up like this at the end of November, we're not going to feel it until second, third week in December. So this is setting up some really good snow and some really good cold out east. If we have a negative NAO set up with it, which I think, because who knows, we don't have a negative NAO. This could be a lot of cold air for out west as well. Right now it's favoring the east. This is cold. So look what's happening here at the same exact time. If we look out towards, let's go to our 500 millibar. This is interesting. Let's look at our 500 millibar. I mean, this, God, I wish I could look a little bit farther. I wish I could look at the 500 millibar on the weeklies, but I'm not going to be able to. 500 millibar weekly anomaly. Okay. As that stratospheric warming event is occurring, that's going to push a ton. That's probably going to collapse our jet multiple times in December into the States. Notice what's happening here on our European weekly 500 millibar height anomaly. Lots of troughing out east. You guys see this? Right here. Lots of troughing out east. For an extended period of time. Ready? Here we go. Here's December 3rd. Troughing out east, troughing out east, troughing out east, troughing out east, troughing out east. Oh, maybe a little warm up right before Christmas. Troughing out east. So you get this big buildup of warm air in the stratosphere disrupting our polar vortex. That cold air sinks over the coming weeks into December, and suddenly our models are just seeing non-stop extended period of a negative NAO. It's not going to be the entire time, but an extended average period, extended period of when the average is a negative NAO with consistent troughing out east. This is such a cold December look. If these models just stopped updating now, I'd say this is going to be the coldest and snowiest December we've had in 50 years. Yeah, but the models are going to update a little bit. We're going to have to keep watching. But if they stopped right now, and if they're correct, big if, in all caps and bold, size 100 font, if they are correct, this would be a historically cold and snowy winter for the East. Large stratospheric warming event at the end of November. Lagged cold air down into the south. Non-stop troughing showing up here on the European weekly 500 millibar out east with a holding negative NAO through December. This would be terrible for the West too. I mean, lots of ridging, lots of warm air out west. Guys, this is such. And let's look at this line. Let's look at our freezing line right here. Okay, a little 540 isobar, we'll call it. Look where this drops. Look where this drops. This is just sitting over the upper. This is just sitting down into the States out east, to the upper Midwest and New England, and it's gonna be pulling cold air under that. This is such a cold look. What do you guys think? You think it's gonna hold, or you think this is all? You think we're gonna wake up tomorrow? Models are gonna say, "Just kidding. We don't think that's gonna happen." Listen. We have some interesting anomalies in the northern subpolar North Atlantic and a warm WPO in a weak La Nina that typically do want to really disrupt our Arctic, our polar vortex, and also hold a negative NAO. So this is completely believable with the type of atmosphere setup that we have right now. What do you guys think? Are all the models showing this? We can take a look at our GFS. Outlook-wise and winter-wise, the European is the best model. So if just the GFS was showing it, I wouldn't believe it as much. Teeny, left, up, right. I appreciate you. I don't know what your name is. Kayla, Xtina, Jasmine. Sure. Let's look at our GFS extended. Our GFS extended sees that troughing out east right around the same time of the Euro. Okay, December 6th. Then it puts a little bit of zonal flow, not really even ridging, zonal flow through December 11th. Again, though, this is our GFS. I'm not looking at our GFS for extended winter forecast. I'm just not doing it. Shorter range, yeah. Canadian extended. Same thing, kind of a zonal flow. I mean, if the Euro was showing what the GFS is showing, then I probably wouldn't be talking about it. It is interesting though to see what the GFS is doing up in our stratosphere. We can take a look at that. Watch this. Our GFS sees the same stratospheric warming event. That would lead to much colder air in December. We're going to have snow some places out east before Christmas that haven't seen snow before Christmas in a long time. Have I tried the winter version of Red Bull yet? I think I have, but I can't remember. I need to get that. So that's what's going on, guys. I wanted to talk to you, but I just wanted to talk to you about this because this looks so freaking cold. It's so crazy what the Europeans doing here. It makes me wonder what the European seasonal outlook is. Monthly. Let's look at our monthly temperature. It still doesn't have it that cold. Oh, well, no, sorry. The Euro doesn't show cold, basically. Look, you see how it's like basically all warm. The Euro is now moving through December and January, trying to bring us that really weak La Nina cold air out there towards the plains and east, trying to dive down into the southeast. We'll see if it does. Pressure wise, I think this needs, yeah, there's the December pressure wise. Look at this troughing and the Greenland blocking and warming up here. So the seasonal's updating. All right, I want to get to your guys' questions. Sorry. Last thing. Wow. December cold air trough. January again. Oh my gosh, the nonstop ridging out west. If the European's correct, it's just going to be cold through if the European's correct, this is going to be a non-wintry west and a very cold east just throughout winter. But these are never perfect out this far, so I'm still favoring cold air out west, below average air out west, and potentially above average snow out west late in January and February. That's still my projection, but I'm really leaning into this December cold and snowy out east. Potentially some record early snow and snowfall totals before Christmas out east in some interesting areas. So, with that being said, what questions do we have? By the way, here's our winter storm. Here's our storm that's going to start moving down right through here soon, bringing us some snow. How much snow for Mississauga, Ontario, Canada? Jeez, how do you pronounce that? Okay, so Toronto. All right. Can you please just say Toronto next time? I promise you that snow difference between you and Toronto is not going to be drastic, at least when forecasting this. GFS is going to fumble. It usually does, Emmanuel. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments now. So, well, if you want to look in the short term out there, let's look at our snow totals in the short term. If we look at our most updated snow totals, total Kuchera. Let's get back down here, right? So Toronto's looking like it could get 5 to 8 inches out of this thing throughout the next week. So yeah, it's looking nice. It's looking nice around Toronto. It is. Not a snowmageddon, but good snow for November, for sure. For early November. Over the next 7 days. Here, I'll get in here. I'll move into the Great Lake region. We can see this a little bit better. There's Toronto, yeah. 5 to 8 inches, maybe. Snow totals in Detroit are all over the place. All over the place. We have our Euro. Let's go into. Let's just dive down into Michigan. Why don't we, to answer this question? I think this is our Detroit total right here at 1.5 inches on the Euro. Let's take a look at our Rufus. Let's take a look at our NAM 3K. Our NAM 3K. Hey, do you like snow? You're gonna want to put your money on the NAM 3K. The NAM 3K thinks we're gonna get 7 inches of snow through Detroit. I think that's too aggressive. Let's take a look at the Rufus. The Rufus thinks 5 inches. Oh my gosh, what's our national blend gonna say now? Whoa. Okay, even the national blend thinks 3 to 4 inches. Hey, Detroit, your snow's uptrending. Congratulations. Everyone, clap it up for Detroit. Can we get some clapping emojis in the chat? Congratulations, Detroit. Everyone from Detroit has been saying that they're not going to get any snow. They never get snow. Their life's miserable. Good job, Detroit. You're trending up. Watch them get no snow, though. There are some models that show not much snow through Detroit. Why this is trending up, though, is before you weren't seeing any snow on the front end. I love all the claps. Before you weren't getting any snow on the front end, and now you are. You were just getting snow after the fact. Now we're seeing snow. Now that cold air punches down. Before this was all rain. See how it passes through? That was all rain. Now the cold air gets there in time. Before the low pressure, before shortwave trough ejects back up into the northeast, our cold air arrives to save the day. It's probably going to be cold rain for a few hours, and then look at the back end here. But look how close it is. It's trying to then turn it back into rain. I think that's kind of BS. The only reason I think it's showing with that is maybe a little bit of a warm flow off the lake. But yeah, I mean, that's a nice setup. That's a nice setup from the Rufus. Look at that on the NAM. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. What an interesting change that was. I'm gonna be careful and say 2 to 4 inches in Detroit. To 4 inches. Are we going to get a big snowstorm?
Severe thunderstorm warning.
Severe thunderstorm warning around Rutherford, Tennessee, William, Tennessee, Wilson, Tennessee. Are we going to get a big snowstorm in December for New York City? I think this is your year to get a big snowstorm early in New York City. So I would take, if I were a betting man, knowing what I know about getting into this December out east, I would be definitely betting heavy on a chance for a nor'easter. Knowing I could lose the bet, but I think it would be a good bet to take. Sorry, I like talking. Clearly, you guys could say I like gambling. I don't really gamble, though, because my wife would leave me, but I dream about it. And if I was a gambling man, even though there's a chance I could lose, I think the odds are pretty good. I'd give the odds, if you guys understand betting, I'd give it like plus 120 odds. Plus 120 odds for a nor'easter in December. That puts snow down in the mid-Atlantic, including New York City. Plus 120. You guys taking it or leaving it? I'd slam $1,500 on it. I'd put $1,500 on it right now, plus 120. Please, let us start betting on weather. I have to be careful talking about this because I think these words trigger some of the algorithms, and they're like, no, stop. We are not. Gambling is bad. Gambling is bad. I know. I got to stop. The G word is bad. The G word is bad. I have to stop saying that. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Can you look at Ohio, the east side? Sure. East side? What's the better side of Ohio? Is there like a rivalry in Ohio, east-west? Here's the NAM 3K. See this? All that rain. This is Sunday morning, and then we get into late Sunday, and all that turns into snow. Look at this. Quite a lot of snow in this region, but this isn't heavy snow. This is light flakes. Could just get a dusting in some areas. Some areas that get this nice banding off the lake, right? Somewhere in here is going to end up with like 7 inches locally, somewhere in that circle. Like I would say in this circle, because up there you could definitely have it. But someone in here in this circle is going to randomly get a nice band over them that's going to put down like 7 inches, and then you're going to drive 10 miles to the north, and they're going to have like a dusting and be like, what happened? That's what happens with these types of events. We just talked about Detroit. 2 to 4 inches in Detroit. High end, 8 inches. High end, 8 inches. I don't think it happens, though. How cold do I think it's going to be in New York City for December? If our European model does the best with outlooks, and right now our European model suggests very, very cold. Very below average December for New York City. Not the whole time, but if you were to average the December. That's what we're seeing in the out. I'm just telling you honestly, the teleconnections, negative NAO, very negative Arctic oscillation, negative WP or negative EPO, neutral WPO. Sprinkle a little bit of positive PNA in there. It's a recipe for a cold mid-Atlantic. It's a recipe for a cold mid-Atlantic. Not only, I didn't even mention we're moving into a phase 7-8 MJO in a weak La Nina. I didn't even mention that. It all favors below average temperatures out east. But there's little things that can trigger shifts of our ridging that could totally ruin that. But it's not favored to. It's not favored to. Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest? I've heard. I've heard that. How much snow for Cleveland and Akron? Let's take a look. What does our NAM think? What do you guys think the NAM's going to show for Cleveland and Akron? Is Akron near Cleveland? What do you guys think? And then I'll show it. At least on the NAM. Oh yeah, Akron's right to the south of Cleveland. Cleveland. I got a tornado chaser out here. Brad Arnold. Chasing them naders. What do you guys think? 3 to 5. Watching cloud cover rolling from the northwest. Nice. Oh wait, let's see. NAM. Oh, our NAM's not gonna go out far enough. Okay, let's go Rufus. Ooh, I don't know. I think we're gonna get more lake effect up there than it's showing. It's showing about 2.5 to 3.5 out there. Let's take a look at our Euro. Yeah, right now it's looking like I would have to guess 1 to 3 inches. I think it may be on the high. I think we may be on the high end of that though, because I think it's underestimating the lake flow, that lake snow. Yeah. All of I just screamed. Every model shows a dusting across Ohio. Every model shows a dust across Ohio. There's going to be an area that maybe doesn't get it, but there's going to be flakes flying across Ohio. Some areas aren't going to see a big accumulation. Some are. Here's the national blend. What time is it? Oh, I got to get off in a little bit. I was just supposed to hop on here real quick. I got to get to Buffalo Wild Wings. Maybe go have a few adult beverages with my mother-in-law. You know, typical Friday. Do I think Eastern North Carolina is going to get any snow this year? Eastern, it's pretty rare. You guys got lucky last year. Eastern, we'll have an opportunity because of this pattern throughout the next couple months really favors cold air out east. So yeah, it's not like I'm not looking at this saying there's no chance for snow in Eastern Carolina, but it's a favorable pattern. Eddie, I appreciate that. Eddie. But I'd expect more towards Charlotte. You know how excited I am just for a dusting of snow? I know, me too. I hope we get a little dusting in Minneapolis. Do I think this winter is going to be historic? I think we'll have more records broken in this winter potentially than any winter in the last 5 years. At least 5 years. It could be bigger than that. I think we're going to break a ton of records this winter. We have a little bit more moisture content in the air. Our global temperature is down. It's at a 3-year low. We have more ice up in the Arctic. We're head on ice in the Arctic. We've got a weak La Nina, which really, really punches into the stratospheric polar vortex. La Ninas tend to be more aggressive winters, so there's a lot of factors. And we got a warm WPO. So it's going to be a more aggressive storm track down into the States during winter. So yeah, I'd say we're gonna break some records this winter. The big, not like, oh, a daily high record, like the big records. I think we're gonna have some states that break snow records, cold records, for the winter as a whole. At least 20, 30 year records. At least Tennessee gets snow Monday. It's looking like it wants at least a dusting and definitely snow up in the mountains for sure. Am I going live again tonight? Probably not tonight. I just wanted to get on and talk about this stuff. I was going to get on later, but I'm going to let my wife do some stuff, maybe with her mom or friends later tonight, so I got to put the kids to bed. You know, be a good dad and stuff. You know. Yeah. Just kidding. I love my kids. All right. Listen, I'm going to potentially... But I'm going to be up tomorrow. I'm gonna be up tomorrow. I'm gonna post all my videos. I'm gonna go live tomorrow at like 7. I almost said the meme. 7, 8. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, and then I will go live again in the evening. And I'll do actually live coverage in the evening tomorrow because we're gonna have some snow rolling through the upper Midwest, and then diving down into kind of portions of Wisconsin, Iowa, and northern Illinois tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. So I'll be covering that as well. Your middle-aged moms will run Discord tonight for you. Listen, I love my middle-aged moms. Listen, I'm getting towards middle-aged. I mean, I'm in the low 30s. I feel like everyone knows my age by now. I've said it so much. I appreciate all of you. I'll be back on posting tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow morning. I'll be streaming tomorrow evening. I have videos posted about all this stuff, by the way, if you want to check it out. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, it's in the description of all my YouTube videos. Awesome Discord. Join the Climate Crew. Become a part of the Climate Crew. It's awesome. I will see you guys a little bit later. When I start my morning lives, I typically try and start my morning lives before 7 a.m. My goal is 6:30. It's always around 7 to 7:15 in the morning, and then I usually live stream until about 9. I do 2 hours in the morning. It depends how long it takes my video to make. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and my son was sick this morning, so it was late. But speaking of my son, okay, here. He wants to say hi before I get off. All right, come here. Do you want to say hi? She doesn't want to be on stream. He's saying, Mom, come. She doesn't want to be on stream. Come here, say bye. Say bye to chat. Come here. Where'd you get Spider-Man from?
The bed.
The bed. Okay, say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Okay. There she is. All right. All right, see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll be posting tonight too, so you can talk to me in the Discord if you want to join the Connor's Comic Corner Discord. You can ask me questions in there, and I'll be posting. And I'll be all the stuff. I need a beer.